Tim.
Yes.
What's your topic?
So my topic is, what websites do you visit every day? Because I got a bunch of them.
Does Twitter count?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I feel like the social media, for me at least, goes without saying. Twitter,
Sure.
Facebook.
I don't see. I don't do
Rare.
Facebook that much.
See, I've
Friendster.
explained this before. My Facebook's for my friends, like my real life people that I know.
Is that what you use? Because I just started everyone. I was like, go for it. Why not? Because I never post on Facebook, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I just don't do that.
Like the only time I ever post when I want everyone to know about
it's
something.
just promoting content. But since it has a longer tail, I usually just leave it up longer.
Well, it's different, like for the fan page thing. But I'm talking about.
My personal Facebook, I never update.
My
I
Facebook
only
profile,
use fan page.
I don't update it pretty much ever, but I use it to keep up with my friends from college and from middle school and stuff, and see what they're doing and like who's dating who and how fat did he get and stuff like that.
How fast did he
I
get?
think again,
Pretty fat.
I think that's another thing that's a sign of our different generations. Is that I just at this point in my life, I went through that where I'm like, oh, what does she look like? What does he look like? What's he doing now? Now I just don't care. Now we have this empire that we're building. This is our sex tape empire.
Yes.
We're like, we've already done the sex tape. We're just waiting for the money to roll in.
Ascend.
Now that we've got
What if
this,
we all did a sex
doesn't
tape
matter.
together?
Let's do it. Will that get us fame and money?
I don't think so.
So wait, real quick about that. I had this idea. Similar. So you know how like all the pretty like cosplay girls and stuff, they do the sexy like pinup posters and sell them.
Never.
I want to do that for us.
Yeah.
We should each sell-
Can you be
Are we in
fireman?
like bathing suits?
We're in like the sexy cosplay stuff.
Yeah, sure, I'm in.
Yeah.
Totally.
Individual posters of us. Little
What is
12
Colin-
months,
what does
there's
Colin
4
get
of
to
us,
be?
that's 3 months.
Colin gets to be whatever he wants.
Mega Man.
Rockman.
Zero Suit
if
Samus.
we gotta call him Rockman.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You got to go back to the origin.
So we're doing sexy versions of just nerdy things,
Yeah.
and male characters or female characters, or does it matter?
It's up to
Whatever
us,
you want
man.
it to be.
Whatever you want.
I want to be sexy Yoshi.
Okay.
Ba-dump.
I want you to do that. I will make that costume for you. It's nasty. Where's the egg going to come out of? You can just ingest it.
Well,
You'll find out.
It's not a video. It'll just be the egg behind me already.
I mean, we have to
I'll
art
be
direct this,
painted.
Maybe
right?
his tongue's out.
No, I
And
want my
it's just a
tongue
big
going
egg.
off the side of the camera, so you don't know what I'm grabbing.
Oh man.
Ba-dump.
What would you be in the sexy cosplay?
I don't know.
Don't give them all away.
Yeah, this is-
Everybody tell us in the comments what you want us to be in our section.
I want you to be GoldenEye James Bond.
That's so good.
Can
But I
Sean
wanna do
Finnegan
that,
shoot
and
the whole
then-
thing?
Oh yes.
When you flip the
yeah.
page, I want to be Odd Job also. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Random.
Can it be
Websites
like your
we visit.
backside though?
Every day.
Yeah.
IGN, which sounds like a cop out, but I still go every
Seriously,
day to see
no,
what's happening.
every single day.
A lot of time for
I
comics.
stopped reading that site like 6 years ago.
So now I'm gonna so Twitter, IGN, clearly, duh. Facebook, no. I go to Facebook every so often. Here's embarrassing, maybe, I don't know, but a site I check every day. Text from last night
Still.
on the train every day. It's an easy mobile refresh. I read the one page.
Are
of
they
the updates.
real?
I like to think they are, but there's no way to prove it because you just go to their website and you write the text that it was. So I like to think they're real. They're always about Tinder nowadays or whatever. And it's just like, all right, that's fun. Stupid stuff like that. Reddit, definitely.
See, I've been making more of a point to make Reddit like the first thing I look at, like and check back in the day. And I have now gained an appreciation for Reddit. Before I was like, this, I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah.
I can't navigate this. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm too old for this. My hip hurts. I gotta have a replacement at some point.
this on my
I remember the old internet days, everybody. When you had the GSO. But now that I've been looking, and now that I think Reddit's all about finding sort of your subreddit that you like, right, or a couple subreddits. And now that Sean Finnegan sort of showed me the movie subreddit and like some of the things in there, I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool. And there's some really good discussions that are happening in there.
Do you subscribe to the GameOverGreggy subreddit?
No.
Everybody should.
Is there a game?
That's a
Is there
thing.
one?
We don't run it. There's a fan who keeps a GameOverGreggy subreddit going. He
I thought
posts
you were kidding.
every day when we post the video at midnight. He goes and puts it in the GameOverGreggy.
That's
Greggy
badass.
subreddit.
Thank you for that.
Shout out
Hey,
to
we
you.
owe you
For the
something.
record, nobody goes in comments, so you should all go at least say hi and thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm gonna go tomorrow if I remember, which I probably won't.
I'll add it to your phone.
Yeah, add it to my phone. But I want to make Reddit a daily thing for me because I just think there's a lot of interesting discussions happening there. Plus, it's how a lot of people discover everything, right?
See, all my daily internet traffic is really on the Muni, like what I'm reading. So that text from last night and the Reddit, and like that's where I count and catch up on everything. And Reddit for me, was the same way. Where there's the infamous Greg Miller Dead Space 2 review, which was legitimately the first time I ever heard about Reddit. When Bromley's like, "Your review's still on the front page of Reddit, it has 1 million comments," and I was like, "What's Reddit?" And then I went there, commented, then talked to kids through blogs and emails and yada yada yada. But after that, I didn't touch it for a long, long time. And then, yeah, it was something I was looking for something to do on the train years ago now. And it was, I opened it up. And then once you get into a rhythm of checking it and see how it works,
it
and
becomes
it's like,
your...
oh, okay, I get this. This is cool.
See, I'm still trying to get to that, which I missed Dig completely.
Oh, yeah.
Dig kind of came and went. I was like,
it.
what's Dig? And then everyone's like, it's the best thing. And then I was like, literally overnight, I went to check it. And then everyone's like, no, Dig's not the cool thing anymore. Reddit's the thing now. And Reddit's actually had... I mean, it's been popular for years now at this point, right? So I'm looking at Tim to validate this because I don't know.
It's super awesome.
For me, this is embarrassing to say.
Superficial, I know it.
It's the superficial.
Yeah, check that superficial.
And it's
everything.
the superficial because the guy
He's funny.
continues to astound me with his writing. His perspective on these issues is so uniquely him that I find him fascinating. And I know it's a guy because no one would make that many penis jokes if it were a female.
Yeah.
Superficial is such a weird site, though.
It's really
because it's one of those things where I think, Christine used to look at it a lot. I think she still is a little bit. But you go there and it's like just a weird mix of like, it's girls in bikinis, but it's not. The story isn't about them necessarily in bikinis.
He just
There's
does
like
that
a
because
paragraph.
he's smart. He's like the Tim Gettys of the future.
Well, he's now.
Yeah.
Tim Gettys is like the superficial of the future.
Well, when Tim runs his own site, it'll be the superficial because the headline will be really grabbing. Then it'll be 5 pictures of a girl in a bikini. Then the body of it will be about something that's related to the headline, but not the bikinis.
Yeah.
And underneath it, it'll be related videos of bikini, like pictures of bikini girls.
Smart.
And
strategy.
It keeps me coming back. You got me hooked on Tube Filter.
Tube Filter,
which is pretty amazing. I get a lot of YouTube news that way.
Yeah.
What about New Media Rockstars? You still checking that every day?
They changed owners and things got a little weird. They're still cool.
That was the thing. When you told me about them back in the day, I went and checked it, and then they were going through the change, so they kind of stopped posting.
Yeah.
And so then I got out of the rhythm, and now somebody linked me to something today, and I was watching it on there. I was like, oh,
yeah,
this is back.
they're really different. It's still good. It's not as good as it was, but Tube Filter kind of like picked it up there, and like Tube Filter is I think the better.
What about BuzzFeed?
Okay. Well, BuzzFeed. I check BuzzFeed every day, but I never go to BuzzFeed. I always like get linked off from Twitter. That's my thing. I don't actually. A lot of the website I used to go to all the time, like BuzzFeed and Mashable and things like that.
Yeah.
I just follow them on Twitter and I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting, and I go from there. So Twitter's kind of a good hub.
Is Twitter your starting ground for everything?
Twitter is definitely like a good jump off point. There's a couple sites that I visit every day just from when I was younger that I just keep doing, like Huan5.com, my favorite music artist. I check their forums every day. Cybertron.com. It's SEI. It's a Transformers fan site.
Sick.
And I was like keeping up to seeing all the new toys and shit. And like
Karaka Kashab posted a lot
exactly.
on there.
Yeah. No, exactly. All these things. My name is Karaka Kashk on all of them, including the Q5 boards. It's awesome.
Did you see that somebody wanted that to be the world? What we renamed the Earth?
Oh, that's a good idea. I like that a lot.
Boom, change it right now.
And then there's certain things that I check every day for no reason. It's just like muscle memory, like MacRumors.com. I'm not buying a Mac. I don't even really like Apple that much.
Dude, that's weird. Do you have actually bookmarks on your home screen?
So I have my little toolbar thingy with a bunch of icons that are super organized. Oh, Rooster Teeth. That's the one. I go to Rooster Teeth multiple times a day just to see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
We haven't mentioned YouTube.
Oh,
I'm on YouTube all the time. I know it's a utility, you forget about it, but I now go to the thing where it's default opens to our stuff, and I use that as a jump off to see what my subs are doing.
What's funny? I'm crazy about YouTube. If you guys didn't know this, I have multiple things going to YouTube. One goes to this, one goes to IGN's, one goes to my personal thing, and I make sure that my personal thing's not logged in, so that I get the whole what other people are watching and what you should watch. So I see the YouTube homepage from a non-logged in thing because I want to know what everyone else is talking about.
That's smart.
Keeping me cool. So I can make you cool too, Nick.
That's why we have you. You're tall. You're youthful. You're in the know.
Colin, what are some of your... I mean, I know the big one. Drudge Report.
Oh, yeah. Every day begins and ends with Drudge Report. So I mean, obviously, so when I'm on my phone, it's Twitter and the AP. The AP app is really good, and you can separate into like world news or U.S. news or by states or sports and stuff. So that's great. And a lot of people ask me like, how do you get unbiased, non-political news? You go to the AP or Reuters; they're pretty good. But in terms of websites that I go to every day, I start every day with Drudge Report. Drudge Report is a political aggregate, the biggest political aggregate in the world, it's essentially a conservative website that makes fun of a lot of things that are going on with liberals, and so it's a little bit mean-spirited sometimes, but it's also really funny, and it's also
Drudge Report.
It's also really topical. The guy's name's Matt Drudge. And Drudge Report hasn't changed designs in 15 years, so it still looks really old. It's kind of, like totally intentional. The guy doesn't give a fuck. He makes millions of dollars a year off this website. He does not care. Like that is, and he's just a recluse. The guy that runs it. Like no one's seen him in a long time and stuff.
That's awesome.
And his big story was that he was the one who broke the Monica Lewinsky scandal. So that's how Drudge Report came out.
Interesting.
And that was before anyone was breaking anything on the internet, so he was like really a pioneer at the time. And then I go to a really good political blog called Hot Air, which is like a more paleocon slanted political blog. That's excellent. I read that multiple times a day. And then I go look for video content. I like Morning Joe on MSNBC a lot. It's the morning show with Joe Scarborough. So during lunch at work, I always watch the first 20 minutes of it or whatever at work. And at Real Clear Politics is another website that has great video. Like they'll clip out things people said on C-SPAN or things that you'll just have missed, like from the last day. Mm-hmm. And then as far as sports are concerned, I go to I go to Politico a lot too, which is a really good website. And then as far as sports are concerned, I go to ESPN multiple times a day. I go to a website that I'm really fond of for the Islanders called the Lighthouse Hockey. That's an SB Nation website. They're excellent. I'm friends with them on Twitter, and that's a really, really good website. Jets blog I go to.
But like how
Grantland.
These are a lot of blogs. So how
I go to these every day.
Do you? But like, what percentage of your day do you guys spend consuming content that is either that is indirectly related to what your job? Like, I'm not saying like IGN we have to read because we're fans, but we also are putting work up there, so we have to make sure it's displayed properly and is like doing what we need to do. But like, what? Like, do you take every hour? You take 5 minutes to read these blogs? Because Tim, you're always really in the know, and so are you, Greg. You guys always seem to me like you're so much better versed on every topic than I am.
Well, I mean, that's only in terms of this stuff. Literally everything else in the world besides internet video, I think Colin is the well-versed one.
It's just, we know playing to your strengths. That's what he's talking about. Like the way it's the same thing for me. I'm like why I'm versed in comics or whatever. The way I am, even though I don't read everything in comics anymore, is because I follow comic people on Twitter.
Right.
So they get up a link. I hit the most important thing. I'm back out. I'm back to what I'm doing. Right.
Yeah.
Like you jump in, you see the video, whatever you need to do, and bounce out.
See, I guess I do that, but I don't know. I think I get it vicariously through, because I follow all of you guys on Twitter, so I get it vicariously through all of you guys. Yeah. If it's important enough for me to read, one of you will retweet it.
I mean, that's my thing is I really love internet video, and there's sites like Devour and Geekology.
Do you still read Devour?
And The Awesomer, which I honestly don't consume their content that much anymore. Just more of a time thing, because I just don't have time to do that.
Right.
But I do look at them every day just to see
what's up,
what they're curating, because those are guys that just curate videos that everyone else has made. They're like, hey, these are cool things. And I've slowly just kind of like gone away from that. I think the internet video as a whole has kind of shifted and got way more like, these are all sponsored videos, and like people are making money from it. So a lot of the just like fun, dumb things are kind of over.
It's despairing,
and and that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's some bad parts to it, but
well, it's because it's becoming more legitimized, right?
Exactly.
It's as the ad dollars are coming over from television to online, rightfully so, because online's a better medium in my opinion. Not true detective notwithstanding, things like that. But for the most part, people are getting more savvy at it. They've been at it for years now. This is not like YouTube.
Is starting to erode, and it's just becoming mainstream.
There are guys like us who are taking their professional lives and bringing it on to what they love to do at night.
No, we're still.
Look at this place.
But the thing, it's not even about selling out, though. It's about getting paid money to do what you love, and then give back and do all that stuff. So in that sense, I've stopped looking at those sites so much, because sites like TubeFilter that are legitimized things are presenting me with the like what's going on and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's funny. Like we always talk about, like we're going to VidCon this weekend. People will see this the weekend after, and I've never been to VidCon. And what's funny is that like,
then we're going to RTX. Woo!
I love video games, and I write about video games, and we do internet video, and I'm really passionate about doing it with you guys and stuff like that. But I know very little about internet video, and so it's funny for me to like go to these things and kind of learn firsthand, because I don't like go to YouTube and like, what am I going to watch today? I like 95% of the time I go to YouTube, I'm like, I want to watch a music video that I already know exists.
That's that's basically 95% of the population.
That's basically what I do. And like, I read a surprising little about I don't read about video games really. You
get a GAF though.
Yeah, I read GAF, which I think is a really good form, because a lot I don't go to they're good websites, but I don't go to Kotaku or Joystick or whatever. I just don't read these websites. So
I go to Kotaku every day.
See, I get linked to like Polygon a lot or Kotaku or what. I go to people, I follow those writers, and then they'll put up something I want to see, and I click on it.
Yeah, see, I don't follow anyone from the gaming industry except for like the people we work with. So
yeah,
I think GAF's actually. I don't post on GAF. I don't think they'd want me to post there, but like it's. I like reading it because it's usually like that. Like something will happen and it's there, and so like it negates the reason for you to read the gaming websites. I guess that's what I'm saying. Like I used to start my day out a few years ago where it was like I'd go to a lot of different gaming websites to keep up. Now that's basically like the Drudge Report of video games. So it's like you can just find everything, and if you're not satiated, then I guess you can move on. But like, I'm more about using IGN itself as like my medium to find out about games, and it's the same way like why I go to ESPN or Grantland for sports. It's like I'm not going to Fox Sports and then CBS Sports and then I go to Deadspin a lot because Deadspin's just fucking hilarious. But other than that, I don't know if you guys read that blog. It's a sport. It's Kotaku. It's in the same family as Kotaku, but it's their sports blog. It is fucking heinous. Like, it is so good.
So you're saying, it's good?
Yeah, it's so like funny, dude.
Like,
they scoop like crazy shit over there.
How do they do that?
They pay people. Like, they're the ones that Brett Favre's like dick pics and all that kind of stuff that he was taking and sending to like the masseuses when he was on the Jets. Yeah, good. Like, they broke that story. That was like a huge. They break like all these stories.
So basically, that's how you break stories, right? Is that you just have a network of people that will just you buy content from? Is that how it works?
Presumably, there was a really good interview with the guy that runs Deadspin, where he makes a ton of money and he's just pretty candid about it. He's just like, they break stories like they're totally legit. But I guess what I'm saying is like a lot of these aggregate websites have really helped me narrow down the list of websites I used to go to. I think when I was in college, I would spend so much time on like, all these websites. 'Cause it's like, so like NeoGAF, even though I don't post there, you just read it a few times a day and you're like, well, this is everything on the front page.
Everything that matters.
Yeah, is already here, and then I don't have to click on all these different websites, and I'm just not reading that much about games because a lot of the stuff I'm reading about at these different websites I don't care about anyway. I care about the things that I care about with games. And so politics I'm a little broader with, especially now that the midterms are coming up where I want to read a lot about that kind of stuff. But I would still say like Twitter, like Tim was saying, is a great aggregate too of like, getting what you need.
But see, it doesn't help for me though, because I follow like people like Emergency Kittens and like Richaholics, where all they do is tweet.
Richaholics?
Oh, it's the best. It's a Twitter feed of a guy that's just like, it's just pictures of like exorbitantly rich things. He'll have like 5 Rolexes. He'll just be like on all of his arms with like a stack of money in front of it. And like,
see, I've stopped following people like that.
I gotta stop.
Just that stuff, because then
you miss the real stuff.
Not only that, you do. But also, that's what BuzzFeed and Mashable and all those things are for. They will just give me the threads, and it'll just say 24 ridiculously expensive things, and if I want to look at that, I'll click on that one thread.
Yeah, but this is the best because this guy just randomly tweets like twice a day, where it'll just be like he tweeted out a like cartel style stack of money.
Yeah,
with just a dude with an expensive watch, like looking at the time.
Is it the same guy in all the pictures, or he just?
Because people just send
back in the day when Instagram was first starting, there was this guy that just.
I remember this guy vaguely.
He would just take pictures of himself. Weird little
I remember that guy.
Little dude. He would just take pictures of him with ridiculous cars, ridiculous girls, ridiculous just everything. It was awesome.
Genius.
Yeah. But there was one website that I forgot to bring up, and I can't believe I forgot this. It's probably the best website in the entire world, and that's the Chive.
Oh, the Chive, yeah.
But
that's kind of borderline porno.
It's not. So here's the thing. First off, no. Second off, they also post a lot of really good things, and they curate a bunch of funny videos too. And their sense of humor is so spot on that like if they post a video, it's gonna be good. BuzzFeed and all them, they're making money, they're doing their thing. The Chive still has this like thing about it where they're just like, no,
only the best, the best.
Well, that reminds me of I used to get linked a lot to the Onion because they do a lot of really. I mean, they're just they were genius back in the day. I haven't watched an Onion video in forever.
I'm not crazy about satire. Really, like I remember when the Onion was. I remember when the Onion was a printed newspaper. Yep. This is how old we are. A lot of people probably don't even know this. I mean, it probably is, but it was only like it was only a thing that was like in your school library or your local library, like in like the late '90s, I think it was. And even then, I was like, I don't know. I just don't care about satire.
I liked it then, but the problem was that I fell down the hole.
It's good.
I liked it so much that I started checking the site all the time, and then I got oversaturated. So now it's like when something awesome gets made on the Onion, and I get to link to it, whether it be video or a thing, then it's really funny, and then I make a point not to click around.
They should just post like one piece of content a day, Monday through Friday. and then tell us about their awesome T-shirts.
Recently, they made a new website called Clickhole.
This year I went there.
Yeah, making fun of BuzzFeed. It's also really funny.
And it's one of those things where when I first heard it, I was like, "Oh, I hate this idea. This is
what
satire."
Is it?
Clickhole.
It's them making fun of BuzzFeed.
It's so smart and so genius. Like when I first read about it, are you looking it up right now?
No, I just retweeted one from Marty the other day. I won't even spoil it.
I would like, if you could, go to the site and click on their about.
Hold on, hold on.
They're about so good, but pretty much they're just making fun of BuzzFeed and Mashable and all these sites, and they just come up with these ridiculous headlines and stuff. And what's the one? Upworthy. They're totally making fun of Upworthy, where the headline will be like, "This might seem silly, but it has a good point." And you're like, "What is it?" The thumbnail's like this little alligator that's like a cartoon alligator, and you click on it, and it's just a 10-second video of an alligator just like dancing around, and then there's just words at the bottom that says "racism's bad."
This is the one Marty tweeted and I retweeted, right? Jesus. 7 classic 90 toys that weren't fun anymore after 9/11.
Yeah. Oh my god. This article's so good.
Number 4, GAC. Remember GAC? Remember that silly fart noise it made when you pushed it back into the container? Remember before you switched on the TV and saw not 1, but 3 harrowing scenes? Downtown New York, the Pentagon, a field smoldering in Pennsylvania. We lost our national innocence that day. Number 5, crocodile dentist. Those people. Those falling people. Number 6, Tamagotchi. 7 minutes left in last period. The teacher's talking, but your Tamagotchi is the only thing on your mind. Is it okay? Is it hungry? Is it happy? Back then, before 9/11, your life revolved around thoughts like these. They seemed important. They were important.
It's just
You
so...
want me to read their about?
Yeah, read their about, because it's so good.
Wait, I'm on it. Which part? It's really long though, Tim.
No, give it to me. There's like a specific part.
Here.
Hey, GameOverGreggy show. Thanks for watching, everybody. Where we just read the internet to you.
We strive to make sure that all of our content panders to and misleads our readers just enough to make it go viral. Like, that is awesome. You see, we don't think anything on the internet should ever have to settle for mere tens of thousands of page views. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's genius.
So
I mean, they really are like
just...
like BuzzFeed as much as. Jesus, are you okay?
I was just coughing. Come now.
I thought I slapped you.
No.
I had a vision of
you slapped the
slapping
cough
you.
out of me.
Just beat him. BuzzFeed is borderline that sometimes, right? Like where you're not really getting a value out of that. It's sheer entertainment. So what you might as well just take that little tiny step forward and just make everything up, which BuzzFeed pretty much does anyway, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all of their list like content.
No, BuzzFeed's actually now getting like legitimized. They have a news show. Dude, and like they're bringing on.
I like
they got
BuzzFeed.
Daniel Radcliffe like breaking news on their show.
I saw their EIC or whoever covers their DC, the guy that covers their DC beat was on CNN the other night.
Yeah, he's on Rachel Maddow.
MSNBC.
He's on Rachel Maddow all the time.
Yeah. She had him on, which is crazy because he's like his Chiron or name bar. That's what they call it. Underneath is his name, and I forget his name, and I apologize. And then it says like ex-bouncer / editor-in-chief of like the DC bureau of BuzzFeed, which I'm like, that's kind of fun. So at least they can have some fun with it.
Well, let me ask you this before we wrap this topic up, though. Like, what do you think the best website is that you visit? Because to me, like, I visit these websites and they're good. Like Deadspin's silly and Drudge Report is just terrible. You know, like, but I like it. The best website, like the website I'm really in awe of, and everyone who knows me knows what the answer to this is, Grantland. Like that website is phenomenal. It's just really, 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 really good. Like the writing is superb. It's funny or serious or smart. Long form, short form, mailbags. The only thing, and they have podcasts. They don't give a fuck about video. They don't give a fuck about images. They'll have these long ass articles with 10,000 words with like no. Like just read it or don't. You know, and it's so good. And they're like, and Bill Simmons is like, who's the editor-in-chief, is like a fucking phenomenon. Like he has more Twitter followers than IGN. And he's just the person that runs the site. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
It's like to me, it's like, man, like I look at that site and I'm like, it's so good. It's so good. And you know, some of the more clever things I like that they do is there's this woman there that writes, she scores she goes to like the New York Times or Wall Street Journal, whatever, and like looks at the culture pages for like highbrow wedding announcements, and she scores them based on like how, like what, like is there an Ivy League school? Did they meet at an Ivy League school? Are there 2 Ivy League schools? Should be like +2 for mention of yacht, +3 for mention of vacation in St. Martin or something like that. Like all these like, so there's like all this brilliant weird shit going on there in addition to their sports coverage or their TV coverage or whatever. But like their TV coverage, their movie coverage, their sports coverage, culture coverage, all the best, like all of it.
See, I don't think I have a number one site anymore. Like Tim was talking about, it's given to me by all of my friends and the people that I follow.
So that'd be Twitter.
Well, yeah, but I don't count Twitter as a site. I count it as an app, right?
Yeah,
I very seldom go to twitter.com. Usually, this is what happens. This is how my Twitter experience is. And it's me walking around, like stopping, clicking on something, waiting for it to load. If it loads, if it's an Instagram picture, I'm like, nope, not going to look at that.
You get 2 seconds. Look at Instagram. You get 2 seconds
if it doesn't
to
load,
and then you're gone.
So here's the thing with the GIFs now on Twitter. So they added them. I'm super excited about this. They never work. Ever.
Work in the
Twitter's
they'll figure
in,
it out.
like when it opens up in the quote unquote Twitter browser, it's the worst experience, in my opinion. It's the only thing that they're good is pictures, because it shows you a little bit of it and it tempts you to want to click on more of it. And now, since I follow Richaholics, he retweets so many kind of dirty pictures. And that, like, remember when we had that topic, is Instagram porn? Mm-hmm. And you were like, no, Nick, Twitter's porn. Twitter is porn. It's porn.
Yeah. And now that there's GIFs, I'm seeing previews of this and I want to see it, and I click on it and it never loads, and it's so upsetting.
Yeah.
I'll never get to know where that was going.
Yeah. Have you heard about this new thing, after sex selfies?
Oh my God, no.
That's a thing now. Thanks, Richaholics. He retweeted something.
Thanks, Richaholics.
It's like it's dudes that are just like after sex, the girl will be like sleeping or they'll be like,
if the girl's sleeping,
I don't like that. I want her
but
like.
Again, the thing is like all these are fake. None of these are like real, right? These people all know they're doing it. At least that's how I get through the day. That's how I rationalize it.
But you didn't answer. No one answered the question. What is the best website?
I mean, I think the problem, it gets into this weird thing of what it is. I think Twitter would probably be the best website if that's disqualified for being an app. I think then it's got to be YouTube. And I mean, don't get me wrong,
that's the same thing though. Like to me, I think the
these
word
are like
platform comes to mind.
Yeah.
And that then websites are just so weird. I think just because it has a URL doesn't make it a website. Like.
I think what Colin's saying is, what's the best website that's programmed for and they
like
have
to
a
be
staff
a website
and like. There's a voice behind it, where Twitter doesn't have a voice.
That's so antique internet, though. That's not modern internet, and that's what we live in now.
That's true.
Yeah, but I agree with that. But I also disagree with that. I mean, like, I think we can all agree that like the internet's moving towards these platforms, apps, easy access to especially media, so like video, imagery, GIFs. But a website like Grantland, which is massive and growing, proves that there's an appetite still for it, and appetite for that kind of thing. What I love the most about them is, even though video is so important, we love making videos and doing videos, like they don't do videos at all. It's like their video footprint is very small compared to their written footprint. And so I'm really happy about the success of Grantland, because it's like, it's a long form. It's not appealing to the eye. They're not trying to like get you to click on fancy headlines. In fact, their headlines are not very good a lot. You know what you're getting when you click on their stuff. And they just tell really fascinating stories. They do this. One of my favorite things they do is oral histories, they call them, where it's like they'll go to like a certain event. The best one I think is about the World Series between the A's and the San Francisco Giants when the earthquake happened. That was like what the whole oral history is about. And they go back and that's none of them at all talking. It's just like they go talk to 25 people and just put everything in sequence.
Yeah. And
it just lasts forever. I've taken entire train rides reading this stuff, and I'm like, this is so good. People still appreciate the written word.
They do.
They do. And that's like, as a writer and a person who reads and enjoys that kind of thing, I'm really, I take heart at websites like that.
My problem then is that we're just defining it in such a box, putting website into such a box. Then I have none. I don't go to any website like that anymore. I don't go. I mean, I use Twitter. I get linked out to that. I go to IGN, if you count IGN. I go to Reddit, which I also don't count because that's a platform for people to bring things together and show. And then you go to, like so many of them are. Today I learned X, and it's like having a conversation with Colin where I click and I read the Wikipedia page about something else. You know what I mean? Does Wikipedia count? Like,
literally, like Tim just said, you got to go to Clickhole more. I just followed him on Twitter. That's how I go now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like,
if I had to choose a website, I think I'm going Chive.
You gotta do one. I'd probably go Superficial. Superficial to me is still it's that
Chive.
Sorry. The Chive.
Like the Chive, like I said, their quality, like the things that they curate, they'll lead me to the right.
See, the Superficial for me is because I love pop culture. I'm from Southern California, so I still have that in my blood of like, I need to know all the gossip that's happening in LA and New York and anywhere else where there's bikini clad women. So I love the Superficial, and again, just to back it up, if you've never been to it, the guy that writes for that is an evil genius. But I still get a lot of news that way, right? He breaks news to you, but he does it in such a unique voice that it's constantly entertaining. Unlike some of the sister sites for that property, because there's a couple other sites that you can link to that I don't really care for all that much. But
Geekology's awesome.
Geekology's okay. It never got me.
Geekology.
It never sparked me coming back. But The Superficial, I read it like 3 times. I'm like, this is an everyday thing for me. I have to do it.
Before we move on real quick, I'm just going to give a shout to 2 websites I don't go to very often, but when I do, I'm always entertained. Smoking Gun. Mm-hmm. I don't know how the hell they get some of the shit that's on that website, but that's like an amazing website. Like, I really don't understand how they're getting some of the shit they're getting. And they're getting some like deep shit. For a lot of people that don't know what Smoking Gun is, like they'll just like leak subpoenas and like lawsuits and like hidden documents, secret. Like, it's an amazing website. Whenever I go there, I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like, how do you get this stuff? The other website, and people might get mad, might not, is TMZ, which is probably one of the most brilliant websites ever created.
So I stopped going. I stopped going to TMZ.
I don't often go there. I Drudge Report links out to it a lot. Sorry, I have something in my eye. But you know, I'm always impressed by them too. Like, people give TMZ a lot of shit, and that's fine. Like, they deserve it or whatever. They break probably more news than anyone. You know, as far as like, I don't, again, like, they just, the scoops aren't very important, but like, some of them are, I guess. But like, where are they getting this stuff? You know, like, this is the stuff I'm most curious about. Like, who are your sources? And how much money are you spending to like extract all this shit from people? So
yeah,
those 2 websites are pretty interesting to me.
Why don't you go there anymore?
To TMZ?
Yeah.
Because they put, like, you know, we've talked about this a little bit. I don't respond well to negative slants on things. Mm-hmm. I like everything in my life to be positive. Like, I think there is a way of presenting commentary in a positive light or a negative light. And TMZ for me was always that sort of like, you'd go and you'd sort of feel like you were... It was
making fun of everything.
They were making fun of everything, but not in a light that I was going to draw some sort of positive conclusion from, right? When you go to The Superficial, and he is making fun of everything, but it's very self-deprecating. It's very much like everyone's included on the joke. Whereas like Egotastic and TMZ are just... And they do a lot of just... It seems like they don't have any standard. It's just whatever will get a click, however debase or however low they have to go to do it. You know, there was like a big thing where like a lot of Hollywood started... protesting TMZ because they were like posting way too many pictures of people's kids. Like, that was a thing. And so it's that kind of, there's no standard, there's no moral standard on that site, and I just can't, I don't think I can go.
They posted a video of the aftermath of Tracy Morgan's
and to which like a bunch of people were like, please pull that. Like, Louis C.K. came out and said, like, had this big thing where he was like, please take that down.
Now here's the thing about this.
Inappropriate.
Here's the thing about this, is that all those tweets and people retweeting that made me go to the website and look at the video, because I didn't even know it existed.
Streisand effect.
So you gotta be kind. It's not the Streisand effect. It's not the Streisand effect. You gotta be kind of careful of giving.
Wait, how is it not the Streisand effect?
Streisand effect is when you put something on the internet and take it down.
Ah, yes, good call.
No, I hear you.
Cool.
Good topic.